Hello, Jeff Marion here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hello, Jeff Marion here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hi, Jeff Marion here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For the past few weeks, we've been focusing on the opioid class action lawsuits. What we're going to talk about today is the specifics of the bankruptcy of Purdue Pharmaceutical, the manufacturer of OxyContin. This is one in a series of videos that will keep you informed about personal injury law. You can subscribe by clicking on my logo in the corner, and I also have the ability to have you comment. This is one in a series of videos that will help you understand personal injury law. So to subscribe to this channel, click on the logo in the corner. We're not going to really talk about money. What I'm here to do is make sure that you're healthy, you're safe, and you're informed. I've been practicing law for over 25 years. I've been fighting for people who have been injured in car crashes, in falls, and by unsafe products such as... For over 25 years, I've been fighting for people injured in crashes, in falls, and by unsafe products. For the past 25 years, I've been fighting for people who've been injured in crashes, in falls, and by unsafe products. For the past 25 years, I've been fighting for people injured in crashes, in falls, and by unsafe products. I also filed the first lawsuit by a town in New York State against the manufacturers and distributors of opioid pain medication. If you haven't watched the rest of the series, I'll give you a very quick update. What we're talking about here is a lawsuit that was brought nationally by not only states, but counties, cities, and towns in all 50 states, plus some Native American reservations and some hospital groups and a few others. Okay. So let's give you, if you haven't seen the other videos in this series, let's do a very quick recap about what we're talking about. If you haven't seen the other videos in this series, let me do a quick recap of the lawsuit we're talking about here. There is a massive lawsuit by states, counties, towns, cities, and some native reservations against the manufacturers, distributors, and key opinion leaders who promoted and sold opioid products. The distributors are the ones who filled the orders and had to red flag any suspicious transactions. The key opinion leaders are the group of scientists paid by the manufacturers mostly to put out journals and do continuing medical education junkets and things of that nature that said that opioids, if prescribed by a doctor, were not addictive, in contradiction of all the science on opioids over the last 100 years. As a result of the number of these lawsuits, Purdue Pharmaceutical, the brand name manufacturer of these drugs, filed for bankruptcy. They are a privately owned company, and they're owned by a family known as the Sackler Family. So they filed a Chapter 11 bankruptcy to essentially pay small amounts on each particular creditor's claim. What we're talking about here is As a result of these lawsuits, Purdue Pharmaceutical and the Sackler family, who owns Purdue, filed for bankruptcy. They did that in a Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which is a paying back some portion of what is owed. Due to the large volume of these lawsuits, Purdue Pharmaceutical and their owners, the Sackler family, filed for bankruptcy. As a part of this bankruptcy proceeding, the judge opened the door to allow personal injury claimants to file and try to recover some amount of damages from the money and assets that were available from this bankruptcy. The deadline, if you did have a claim, whether it's a loved one who overdosed and died, or whether it is a loved one's addiction or you're actually your own addiction, you had until July 30th of 2020 in order to file that proof of claim with the bankruptcy court. What's happened is that Purdue Pharmaceutical has put together a plan that looks like it will be approved by all parties. And what that plan does is once all the claims in the bankruptcy were counted, whether that was the personal injury claims and it was all of the municipality claims, other creditors of Purdue Pharmaceutical, that total was $170 trillion in claims. Just for perspective, the national debt of the United States is around 23 to 24 trillion. So clearly there's not going to be enough money to pay every single claimant 100 cents on the dollar on their claim. So what did they do? First of all, is Purdue Pharmacy going to continue to exist after all of this? Well, as part of the bankruptcy plan, the reorganization plan, Purdue Pharmaceutical is going to become a public trust or public good corporation that will be devoted to opioid addiction prevention. There will be various pots of money for each of the claimants, and the one I want to focus on is the personal injury claims. There is going to be a pot of $700 million to $750 million to pay these individual claims. Sounds like all the money in the world, obviously. But what we're dealing with here is 130,000 claimants, actually more than 130,000 claimants. So when you really break that down, if you do some back of the envelope math, you're really talking about little over $10,000 per claimant, assuming we pay every single one of these claims. What will happen is that there will be a payment structure and there'll be tiers of payment. This happens in just about any kind of mass tort litigation where there are a large number of plaintiffs who sue one company for an unsafe product. An overdose and a death will obviously be the sort of largest. It's a tier 1 recovery. Addiction to a Purdue product, and understand that you have to prove that you used a Purdue product, not just that you got it off the street. You had to have purchased it at a pharmacy or something along, or a grocery store or wherever, and had it prescribed to you by a doctor. So those tier 1 claims are going to amount to roughly, if it's a death claim, anywhere from $10,000 to $40,000 at a maximum. For someone who can prove an addiction due to having used a Purdue product, it's going to be about $5,000 to maybe $15,000 is all that's going to be available. Now, any claimant can simply avoid the long process, because what you'll have to do is demonstrate that you were addicted to an actual Purdue product and show that to the court, and then the court can make a determination from there. There are other avenues available, and those recoveries are nominal. Maybe a few $1,000s might be available to you in that situation. So overall, the Sackler family is going to keep some part of their fortune. Purdue Pharmaceuticals is going to cease to exist, and the personal injury claimants will get some recovery, but definitely not what they could have expected and not life-changing money. The plan has yet to be approved. That should be voted on very soon, but it's likely to be approved, and then those personal injury claimants will be allowed to move forward. If you've been injured by a dangerous drug or other unsafe product, you can email me at the address below, or you can message me using my Facebook page, facebook.com/JeffMarionLaw. You can check out my website, www.jeffmarionlaw.com. But more importantly, if you are interested in this subject and you like this video, please click on the like button below. Leave your comments and your questions in the comments section. I'll be happy to answer them. And check back here next week, and we'll have another video on another topic involving personal injury law. Take care.